All right.
Names. We got Andrew Van Kuren here and Jason Piccolini, and my name is Anthony Tuit. How are you guys today?
You, what's up? Doing pretty good. Doing pretty
How are you today?
how
are you
Let's
today?
talk about the Brooklyn garbage Nets.
Oh,
Okay?
God.
Okay. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I have some apologies to make. Bruce Brown, I'm so sorry for doubting you.
Yes. Apologies
That's
to
what we
Bruce
get out of
Brown.
this. We
Yes,
get the Bruce
yes.
Brown apology.
Bruce
That's
Brown
what
has
we
no
get out of
help.
this.
Bruce has no help.
Bruce has no help.
Bruce put the team on his back. Put the team on his back. You saw the 3-pointers he was hitting, the defense he was playing. He played immaculate. Seth Curry, I'm kind of disappointed in you. Not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
he could have done more.
You played all right. And then Steve Nash, you got to talk.
Oh,
Andre
God.
Drummond, bro. He has no type of defensive success. He can barely catch rebounds anymore. He's washed. And look at the free agents so far. It's not looking so well. So right now, I think we're at the brink of losing Nick Claxton this offseason because he's going to be a free agent.
He's an RFA, yeah.
Bruce Brown, Andre Drummond, he can go. Goran Dragic, he can go. I don't care about Goran Dragic. There's a whole bunch of other heads we're losing. But honestly, like, I knew Boston was going to win the series because we were down 3-0, but like we had a chance. But during the third quarter, I just knew.
It was the first game. After the first game,
Yeah.
when Kyrie drops 39, you lose. That was kind of – and, like, also, KD, like, respectfully, was garbage the entire
Can
series.
we talk about that, by the way? This is like the first time ever I've seen where KD shrunk.
Well, Jason Tatum, I didn't know Jason Tatum was that good at defense. I know this other
He
team
is
were
an
good at defense.
underrated defense.
Yeah, no, he had him
Hands
locked
down
up.
is.
Yeah. No, it was insane.
a
But
very
also,
underrated
even this past game, KD dropped what, 36 or something? How many?
35.
35
On 12 for 30 shooting.
Yeah,
He shot 12 for 30.
He got so many.
And he was
points
1 for 7
free
from 3.
throws. He got so many points from the line.
Yeah.
It was atrocious. Like Kevin Durant, and the thing is too, like, don't get me wrong, I love Kevin, but buddy, you need to learn how to take adversity. Like, really.
For sure. He can't take adversity.
He's still
He's still chomping at Chuck, and you're like,
Still
I'm
got
God.
the
You can't call
thinnest-
yourself God. And you got
he's
something the
got
first
the
round of the playoffs.
thinnest skin of any pro athlete outside of the other guy we're gonna bring up right now.
Well, also, real quick, keep this because so many people are like LeBron would never. Let's not talk about LeBron right now.
No. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
So
I don't want to hear it.
LeBron's so better than
They missed the playoffs. They missed the playoffs.
And
I
people
don't
are
want to
like,
hear it.
LeBron would never get swept in the first round, bro. Like,
He got
let's
swept
not.
in the finals. It's even worse.
And he also like it did make the playoffs. But regardless, though, before we get into the Nets propaganda, or like what you were gonna say, real quick, the Nets. I really hope that they keep Nick Claxton. I know Nick Claxton.
Do we want to cover
horrible.
like off-season should and shouldn'ts first before we get into the other thing?
We could.
Yeah, well, for real quick, I'm just gonna talk about my personal how I viewed this Nets season.
All right, go ahead.
Real quick, so Nick Claxton, he had a really bad free throw shooting game. Obviously, 0 for 10 to start off, 1 for
He's
11.
a traditional big. He's not known for that.
But yeah, he also shot 6 for 6 from the field, dropped 13. He's good. And also, I really want them to use their trades that they have. Like, because they have 2 first-round picks this year. They have 2 first-round picks. They need to get a big. That's another thing, too. They're going to get Joe Harris back. I think that's very, very underrated.
I'm kind of scared for that, though, because the thing
actually?
is,
Joe Harris.
before he got injured, if you don't remember, he was not playing that well.
In the playoff series, he did not great.
Now,
do
here's
well.
the thing. Are they actually going to keep Joe Harris, or are they going to combine
should.
him, Nick Claxton, and a pick with Harris's contract to get somebody else?
I honestly wouldn't care. I would rather them trade Patty Mills than Joe Harris. I think Joe Harris is better than Patty Mills. Personally.
I'm just wondering from a numbers perspective. I think Harris was given that
He's
deal.
eating
so
that-
you
yeah,
could-
he
can
has
match-
a big deal.
He's getting
Yeah,
paid
he's
like
eating a
18
big contract
million.
right now.
He is. I
He's
forgot
getting
they
a big
signed him.
He's
signed
getting
him.
paid like 18 million. So I think you
Oh,
can use
wow.
him to match contracts
He's
with
eating
like
a
somebody
big
else.
contract.
So
right now.
yeah, maybe it's just it really depends on who they can get from it. I don't know because like you want
It
to.
really depends on how much ownership is willing to go into the luxury tax after 3 years of really
They
frustrating
need something.
disappointment.
Well, because here's the thing, you know what big man would be good for the Nets right now? A guy like Jared Allen, and that kind of hurts to say. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
he's
what
injured
hurts
this year,
is-
isn't he not?
But
he is, yeah.
He is?
But I think he's an RFA.
Yeah, he's not
Um,
coming back to Brooklyn.
No, you know what? Here's the
You
thing.
never know.
Here's the thing
He
with me.
could.
Here's the
He
thing
could,
with me.
but
I don't think he comes back with Steve Nash as the head coach.
he's not good.
Here's my thing. It's sad to think about, but the Nets would have been probably way better had they not made the Harden trade. They not make the Harden
Yeah.
trade at all. They still have Kyrie. They still have KD. They still have Jared Allen. They still have
Karis LeVert.
Karis LeVert. They still have. Was Dinwiddie gone before that?
Dinwiddie
No,
was
he was
going
part of that
after.
trade. No, he was part of that.
He was a part of that
He
trade.
was?
It was a 4-way deal. Remember, it was a
Oh,
4-way
yeah,
deal.
yeah.
So
Because he went to
They
Washington.
yep, they still have Dinwiddie. The depth would have
They
been
had
so
so much
much
better.
so much more flushed out. And then you could have brought in these guys on these minimum contracts, the guys like the Blake Griffins, the Andre Drummonds, the
Blake Griffin, honestly, like I've talked down Blake Griffin, but like I'm tired of Blake Griffin saying, "Oh, he needs to leave Brooklyn because he's not playing well." Steve Nash is holding him. No, he's not. Blake Griffin is not the same player he was. I'm tired of hearing that too.
Do we want to talk about Steve Nash?
Steve Nash, hold on, I'm
here's-
sorry.
yeah.
Steve Nash has no type of physical brain cells. At one point in the game, the lineup was Kyrie, Patrick Mills, Bruce Brown, Kevin Durant, and I think Goran Dragic.
Yeah, his problem is that he can't make adjustments and he doesn't call timeout when the Nets desperately need it. Like
He
they're getting
doesn't
shellacked and he
know
doesn't.
how to coach.
Well, because here's the thing, and like the thing is that as from a basketball perspective, like from our point of view, not playing basketball like Kevin Durant, Kyrie, we would like Steve Nash to leave. They don't. They don't want to be coached. That's why they brought Kenny Atkinson out of there.
Kyrie.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's Kyrie. That's all Kyrie.
Yeah, Kenny
This is
Atkinson
one
was the
knock on
perfect
Kyrie
coach.
that I will allow in terms of I will never allow knocks on Kyrie for his playing ability, but for his personality and the other stuff and all the stuff when it comes
Yeah,
to organizational
that's different.
drama.
He's a
It's
bleep
great.
head.
And the
He's
thing
a
is,
bleep head.
Yeah.
but like Kenny Atkinson was the man. He was great.
Kenny
He
Atkinson
changed
was
the
a very
culture.
good coach.
He was a very good
Brooklyn.
coach. And he changed the culture in Brooklyn with D'Lo. Obviously, you had to trade D'Lo if you wanted KD because he wasn't going to go with just him. He needed Kyrie too. I get that. But Kenny Atkinson getting fired because, quite frankly, they didn't want to do his system. And bringing Steve Nash, a guy who, they played with, like
I
I'm
know
saying,
that what
like,
blows my mind too. I get it, like you want to put your friends on, but you cannot have Amari Stoudemire there with you. Like, granted,
Stat.
you cannot have your friends there with you. You got to have a good coaching staff around you.
You know what? Speaking of the coaching staff, you know what's even funnier about this whole situation? Boston's head coach, Ime Udoka, where was he last year? Wasn't he on Brooklyn's staff?
No.
Was he?
I think he was an
Was
assistant
he?
on Brooklyn, wasn't he?
He might have been. Let me look it up.
I think he was an assistant with Brooklyn. Wasn't it him and D'Antoni?
D'Antoni was.
But you deal with it too. I know D'Antoni. D'Antoni only came there because Harden was there. That's what it was.
Yeah. I think
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Udoka was an assistant.
You're
on
right.
I
that
remember
staff
forgetting.
last year.
You know what did the name drop to? That video of them at the Olympics. They go, we're gonna be on Boston's this year. And what happened? What happened?
Wait, that's crazy.
So you got shellacked by your assistant coach last year.
Well, yeah, because they had a great coaching staff that they ruined because they don't want to be coached. Quite
Yeah.
frankly, they do not. Like you said, Kyrie too. They don't want to be coached,
No.
and it's just
They want to play ISO. That's all they want to do.
Isn't there a quote from Kyrie saying we don't need coaching?
Wasn't
Wasn't that
honestly,
like
I
a
wouldn't be
passion?
I
surprised.
wouldn't
Yeah,
put it
I
past
wouldn't be
you.
surprised.
I want to be put.
But- Like also with the whole situation, even the Ben Simmons thing, it's too early to tell because I think Ben Simmons, because right now he has to stay with Brooklyn. They're not going to get good trade value out of him, and no other team's going to want him. He has to stay with Brooklyn, and he has to play next year. These things must happen. I think, like a coach that wasn't Steve Nash, Doc Rivers also sucks. I'm not. I hate Doc.
Oh, we could get in the Doc in a minute.
Doc sucks. Doc sucks. He's overrated. But I think
Doc
with a
is
guy
the
like
NBA's version of Mike McCarthy.
yes,
Doc Rivers.
yes,
Yeah,
that's
we've
perfect.
been over this. Me and
We've
have
been over this.
Doc Rivers is so terrible.
Overrated.
Horrible.
Overrated. I
Horrible.
really hope that they get reverse swept. But at the same time, though,
That'd be
with
hilarious.
it'd be the funniest thing ever.
That'd be hilarious.
It'd be the funniest thing ever.
Go Raptors.
Yeah, go Raptors.
Go Scotty Barnes.
Yeah,
Rookie of the year.
and they're gonna win in Toronto tonight. I think they
they're
play
definitely
tonight.
winning in
definitely.
Toronto. It's going to be Game 7 in Philly.
Yeah.
That's going to be.
You know what? I told my roommate this yesterday. Scotty Barnes is a Kawhi shot.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I really want the Raptors to
Oh
advance.
my God! Please do it.
They don't have Van
Griffin
Vliet
like
though. That
this.
sucks. I wish they had Fred. But no Van Vliet means Gary Trent's gonna jump like 40, so that's cool.
Yep.
I love Gary Trent. I love Gary Trent.
They don't even need a point guard with the way Nick Nurse operates his.
He's a
system.
great
Nick Nurse is a great coach. He's a
Nick
great
Nurse
coach.
is honestly the most underrated coach in basketball. He really
Quite
is.
frankly, the Nets were hoping Steve Nash is gonna be like a Steve Kerr type guy.
He's not.
He's not.
The thing is, I slept on Steve Kerr when he first got there, but then I realized when everybody was injured, like, all right, Steve Kerr's a real deal.
I think
I mean, Steve Kerr had a tenure as an executive with Phoenix, though, even before he became a coach.
Yeah,
with
but
the
still,
Warriors.
but like coming from like, don't get me wrong, when Mark Jackson got fired, you hear Steve Kerr's gonna be coach. Like, what the hell is this? Like, what's going
Yeah.
on? You never thought-
Yeah.
you never
Literally,
thought.
I think that Steve Kerr is a good coach. I think he's a bit overrated in the sense that this is Mark Jackson's team. Like Mark Jackson, he drafted those
He
boys.
did. Well, yeah.
Still had no faith
But
in them,
but Steve,
Really Bob Myers, but yeah.
yes, Bob Myers. Yes, Bob Myers is a great GM.
He's a great GM.
That's why you can't really. This Warriors team, I actually looked it up. Every single player on this team has been drafted by them, with the exception of Andrew Wiggins. You can't hate on this Warriors team.
this
You
is
can't-
the
you
guy.
can't
The
have
most
PTSD.
sympathetic character in this story for Brooklyn for me is Sean Marks. This
Dude,
dude spent all this
he's
time
done everything.
from the Pierce Allen Garnett trade aftermath, cleaning this organization
He's
up,
done
building
everything.
them back up to relevancy. And now they're about to be in a similar situation
And
to
he
what
can't
they
do
were when he
anything.
got there. And he can't do anything because ownership is always going to side with KD and Kyrie.
And also, it's frustrating when
He has
'cause-
had to make knee-jerk move after knee-jerk move to appeal to this roster.
and like what else? Because really now, I think obviously this X factor is Ben Simmons. I think that you're gonna have to like I said, you had to keep him. You're gonna have to see what he has before you really judge the James Harden trade. Because I don't hate James Harden leaving. I honestly,
I don't
he's
think
not the same.
Harden ever fit on that
He
team.
didn't fit, and he
didn't.
also just wasn't. He's not the same. He's not the
doesn't-
same James
he doesn't
Harden.
fit next to Kyrie.
But here's the thing. When he first got there, they said, we're going to put James at the 1 and put Kyrie at the 2. That was pretty good. It was a pretty good idea. But
Yeah.
the thing is, it was poorly executed. Because don't get me wrong, Kyrie is a way better shooting guard than he is point guard.
See, here's my thing. Well, where would you put
Yeah.
Ben Simmons?
Right now, if I had to take the current Nets lineup and bring it out, here's how I do it. I do Kyrie at the 1. Let's say
Simmons at the 4 or 5.
I would
No,
say
not
Simmons at the
Five.
4 probably.
and then Clax at 5.
I would
KD
use
3.
I would use I would go
I'd go Joe Harris at the 2. Or
Yeah,
Bruce
I mean, I
Brown.
guess I'd go Bruce Brown probably at the 2.
Bruce
The
just
thing
Brown,
is,
like-
they
yeah.
put Bruce Brown at the 4, which he doesn't play bad at the 4.
Or Seth. I forget that Seth.
Oh yeah, Seth.
So do the
yeah,
Duke
it'd be
lineup, though.
Kyrie,
Put Seth-
Seth.
Put Seth at the 1 and put Kyrie at the 2.
If you really wanted to go like full small ball though, with the way the league is now, I think you could put Ben at the 5.
Yeah. See, here's
I think you
my.
could do it. He's a good.
That's
enough
what I'm
defender where you
saying,
could
and
do
he's
it.
also just really, really tall.
But I think also the whole thing is though that you kind of want Ben to just be thrown on whoever the other team's best offensive player is.
Yeah,
So maybe
yeah.
you'd rather have like Clax at the 5. Just make Ben Simmons Draymond Green. Just have,
Yeah,
he
I
would
love
be great at
Draymond.
that role. Pick and roll, half court sets, dish to open shooters. Like that's what he's best at. Let him do that.
Yeah, it's so annoying. The Nets are just an annoying
The
team,
thing
man.
with Simmons is you have to figure out. And I've been a long time Ben Simmons supporter. To
Mhm.
knows this. He has to. The one issue with him is his mentality. So he has to decide what he wants to be. Does he really want to be an all-star again, or does he want to just collect his paycheck?
Yeah, absolutely.
He just looks like he has no
He's
passion
lost.
for basketball right now.
It's tough. I think that the James Harden trade not only comes down to how well Ben Simmons performs, I really do think that the big man, because they are going to trade for a big man, you would assume, with those first-round
I would
picks.
assume they bring in somebody. Honestly, I think would be hilarious since he's a free agent this year. I think finally bring Brooke home.
No.
Brook Lopez.
You think about it though, he would fit perfectly with that team. Just have him
He
spot
would.
up in the corner on
Yeah,
offense. But I
yeah.
don't think he comes back. I think he's too happy in Milwaukee. With
I
Giannis.
mean, he won a ring.
yeah,
Finally got what he
That's
but like one of the
tough.
best Nets in history, especially. Isn't he like leading
Oh,
a
like
bunch of
scoring
statistics
leader?
with them?
Yeah. for
he-
sure.
He's leaking a lot of stats.
I want to see, and it's tough because they made the playoffs and they might make it past the first round and they're having success. Is Cat only because I feel like when you think of big man getting traded, I feel like for me, my mind always goes to Cat. I feel like he's always like what are they doing in Minnesota? What is their plan? Because also
He's
Minnesota,
soft.
they have like a nice foundation. I think that's a pretty nice big three. Their second unit is atrocious.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Here's the other thing about the Timberwolves. I've questioned this privately for a bit. Do you think Cat and Edwards works long term?
That's the thing.
Once Edwards like fully become, because I'm pretty sure everybody assumes this is eventually going to be Anthony Edwards' team.
I think it already
Absolutely.
is.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue
is
after last night.
Cat gonna be able to go into that subordinate role? I don't
That's
know.
what I'm saying. That's
The
why.
thing is, Karl Anthony Towns is trying to push his weight because I mean, granted, the first 2 games he played. No, the first game he played terrible. 2 and 3. No, the first game he played well. 2 and 3 he played bad. The thing is, Cat has to realize something. Anthony Edwards, if you look at stats wise for the past season, he's been playing out of his mind. Like it's absolutely insane. And Cat, he stepped up to the table to a certain extent, but Cat has to also realize by next season, if Anthony Edwards is on the track, granted no injuries, knock on wood, it's Anthony Edwards' team. It's Anthony Edwards'
Yeah.
team, hands down.
Yeah.
And
Also, I watched the game last night, and
I did too.
as I watched the game, I realized I really don't want Cat. I love Cat. I said I want a Cat, but then I was like, wait a second. It's a combination of 2 things. 1, he's getting out rebounded by Brandon Clark, and 2,
He's a foul merchant. He's
he-
literally a foul merchant.
and I hate how Minnesota uses him. I get he's a good shooter, but you can't always have him on the perimeter.
No.
He's a big dude. He's a big dude. He doesn't post up. He just shoots, and that's fine.
soft.
But it's like, dude, like that's the thing. Like he's too soft. And with Brooklyn, I think he would only be softer because like it would be even less
That
pressure.
culture is so like
Raw.
soft.
What
Yes.
culture?
Brooklyn, I think at this point,
I think
for that team, it feels like very.
They're soft, but the fans is raw. The fans are
Yeah.
raw.
if they were to bring
Fans
a
are
big
raw.
man, I would love Steven Adams. I would love to see them bring like a Steven Adams tough guy, big center.
That would work. I
You
think
know
that
what I'm
would
saying?
work. Yeah, I think that would work.
I think he has a good fit in Memphis, although he's hurt right now, right? Pretty sure I didn't-
Yeah, he's hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt right now.
I think
And
also
actually,
too.
that leads to the guy who's actually underperforming in this series from Memphis, which is Jaren Jackson.
Oh, you're
which
crazy.
A lot
Yes.
of people are calling out.
He is underperforming, Jaren Jackson. I
At
like
least on
Jaren
the def-
Jackson.
at least on the defensive end, he just looks kind of.
Yes.
He's young, so I'm not going to bash him too much. It's his first like real playoff.
But the
Yeah.
thing is, too, the reason people are bashing him, and you can bash him, is because he was also in the final candidates for Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
He was?
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah,
And that's why he's kind of getting bashed because his defense.
yeah, he was
How
a
long was Draymond out? Was Draymond out for that long?
Yeah.
Yeah, Draymond was kind of.
He had that award in the bag. I was leaning towards
Speaking
Bridges.
of that, the Suns reclaimed the lead in that series with the Pelicans because Miles Bridges stepped up on offense.
He was.
Me,
he was
me,
going
Mikal
stupid.
Bridges.
Mikal Bridges, sorry.
He was going stupid.
Mikal Bridges, yes.
He was going stupid.
He filled the Devin Booker role on offense and his own role on defense.
Literally, he
Yeah.
was literally Cameron Payne last year for Chris Paul.
Yeah, he could be him. That was exciting. That's a weird series. It's like a series that I kind of like watching, but at the same time, it's like I'm not like too into it because like both guys, they're without Booker, and the other team, Pelicans, they're without Zion. I don't know how much of a difference that would make. No one knows yet, but it's interesting. The Pelicans could be really good in the future.
I
That's
feel
like a fun
so
thing to talk
bad for
about.
Pelicans.
So do
It's
I.
just such a terrible situation.
It's horrible.
Also, like I really don't understand. So I want to actually tell you something right now. So, the reports that Zion doesn't want to stay in New Orleans. Why? I feel like New Orleans is so nice. I had my interview that I just had with Matthew Grimaldi.
Yeah.
He got me excited because I was talking to him. I don't know if you guys would be down to do it. If you guys would, that'd be sick. Club flag football. I feel like that'd be so fun.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
hands down.
yes.
I
Hands
mean,
down.
yeah,
Hands down.
and he said
Absolutely.
that like a cool incentive, like talking about like what league that we'd be in or whatever. If I got enough people, he's gonna like use me. I'm gonna communicate with him. He'd be like, yeah, they have nationals in New Orleans. That's sick. I've wanted to go to New Orleans like for the longest
Down.
time. That's what I'm saying.
Down.
Why would you like New Orleans is so cool? Why would you not want to like?
Let me
Why?
tell you,
Why
I,
do you
I bet
want
you what
out?
it was, bro.
It's so cool.
I'm telling you, when Zion came down for the ACC champion tournament, he went to MSG and said, "I wanted to play here." That's what it was, bro.
Yeah, it seemed like he just always wanted New York. It seemed like he always wanted the big market. Somebody got in his ear and was like, look, you are never going to be anything in New Orleans.
Yeah,
I also think he realizes, or someone in his camp realizes, Zion is not going to have a long career. I don't think.
No,
And his prime is going to be even shorter, assuming he gets back to it.
yeah,
He's got a window probably until he's about 30.
it's tough too because me and my roommate were talking about it. His body type just will not prevent it, like
That's what
allow
I mean,
him.
yeah.
Yeah, like people just have different body types. His body type will naturally, he will be a big dude. That was also, he's too big now, obviously, but at the same time, that's what he was branded as, a big monster. He's supposed to have weight. He is. Like, he's supposed to have weight.
But it's just not, it doesn't work in that
Not in his
frame.
favor. Not in his favor.
His frame and that weight and his explosiveness.
His explosiveness is gonna kill him.
While amazing is going to be his biggest
He's
issue.
really a baby LeBron. So what he is, a baby LeBron. Like, he wants to be LeBron so bad, but he's too short for it. His body's not built for it.
It's so
He is.
true. Because, like, we've seen him. Like, we all remember how, like, even out of high school, how, like, hyped up Zion was. And he had a nice college career.
Let me tell you
Had a
something.
great rookie year.
Zion is the guy who would have benefited the most, I think, had the NIL stuff been around
Oh, my
when
God.
he was in college. The amount
Oh my
of money he
God.
would have gotten when he was at Duke.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he even gave Nike another chance with the signing to Jordan. That was shocking. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I watched that at least on Sports Center top 10 when that Paul George split in half. I was like, oh my God, Nike's about to get sued. Like, and not only that, like, everybody in this room, I know the three of you have when we were in high school have seen the game where LaMelo Ball and Zion played in high school. Like, everybody's grew up watching the Zion's LaMelo Ball.
I love
Lonzo's.
LaMelo.
LaMelo, we're not gonna talk about him.
I love
We
LaMelo.
know. I think personally, he
Well
could be the
said.
next best point guard.
Okay.
I
love
think
LaMelo.
so. Because honestly, like, don't get me wrong, Lonzo, I would still call Lonzo better than him right now, due to the fact that Lonzo's more efficient than him on the passing wise and defensive wise. But scoring, LaMelo's a monster.
LaMelo has it. He has
it.
He has that it factor that Lonzo just doesn't.
Yeah,
Lonzo
scoring wise,
Lonzo
Lonzo's
will
more
have
efficient.
Lonzo will
playmaking.
have a long career. He will be a successful point guard, assuming he stays healthy. He will probably bounce around to a couple teams.
absolutely.
He may win a ring or two because he's a good point guard if you have the right system.
Yeah,
He's the ideal point guard.
You know, Alonzo reminds me of. He reminds me a lot of Rondo.
Yeah, he really does. He's a
Reminds me a lot
bigger
of
Rondo.
it really is like the
He's
whole.
a bigger Rajon Rondo.
Ken Lonzo be more than just a role player type thing, like a really solid, like he's a solid starter that you want on your team. But like you said, will LaMelo have the it factor? I think down the line, a few years, LaMelo could realistically be viewed as the best player on a championship team.
Yeah, I think Lonzo can be the third best player on a championship team.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. He's like a Rondo because if you think about it, you
he's
have
a
Paul
Rondo.
Pierce, you have KG. I hate the Celtics, don't get me wrong, but like
Mm-hmm.
Rondo was that guy on the Celtics. Like,
Yeah, Rondo basically made that a big four with Ray Allen, KG, and Paul Pierce.
Oh yeah, I've really,
that team was stacked.
That was a
You
crazy
also was on that team too.
Jason Cherry.
Perkins.
Do not say
Kendrick
Kendrick,
Perkins.
but you said Kendrick Perkins.
Kendrick Perkins was on that team. He
Kendrick
has 2
Perkins
rings.
was useless.
Oh yeah, he doesn't. He was one. What do you mean?
I thought he
two?
has with the Cavs.
You really thought they won that? Yes, they got swept.
That was the year they got
Wait,
swept
are
by
you
Golden
serious?
State.
And he had the audacity to say, "I had the great ability to play with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, LeBron James, and NBA Finals."
No way. I really
KP,
thought
you sat on the bench.
bench, and you did.
I
You might as well have
really
worn your
thought.
No,
stupid
he has one.
oversized
Don't
suit.
play me like that. I would have cried if he had 2 rings.
Oh my God, no! He has
You-
the
That's
one
so
ring with
funny. You
You
Boston.
talking about the year he had that Eastern
He got swept. Yeah,
See,
yeah.
you know how that team was so talented. Doc Rivers somehow won a ring.
That's what I'm
That's how
saying.
talented
That
that
was
team
all
was.
the team though. Like Doc Rivers sucks.
He does. He
I
really
hate
does.
Doc Rivers. And I
He
really
is the
want to see him
most-
fail.
He really is. He's the Mike McCarthy
Absolutely.
of the NBA. He got one ring from a uber talented team
Yes.
and has been coasting on that reputation ever since.
When it came to Clippers, I always thought like, all right, this is the team that could actually. I thought
You
Doc.
remember
Rivers-
that the Clippers actually traded the first round pick for Doc?
They did that?
They traded the first round. The Celtics traded because Doc was still under contract. They traded Doc to the Clippers for a first round pick, and then they brought in Brad Stevens.
I think the fact that the NBA, when they did their little like for the 75th anniversary, he was one of the top 15 coaches of all time.
Oh,
There's
Yeah, dude, talking about
not
that.
there's not 15 coaches better than Doc
No.
Rivers, actually.
No, there's not.
No.
There's really not.
there's really there's just so many bad coaches. in the
But there's not 15 better.
NBA. You know, it's
You know what's
it's,
going
it's
on? Like,
kind of because
I'll speak on that afterwards.
here's the thing with the NBA. So many of the championships are hoovered up between a few teams
Lakers,
and the
Celtics.
same coaches.
And
Yes.
Bulls.
Lakers, Celtics, Bulls, Spurs. There's like one other team that has
Philly.
a couple. Philly had a couple back in the day.
Well, the Kings had the King. Nah, no, Oscar Robinson has
Kings
one.
had one, but that was like way back.
Celtics.
Same thing with the Bucks. They had one way back before recently.
God, Phil Jackson has so many rings. I forgot.
Phil Jackson
12.
has 12.
No,
He had-
13.
well, I mean, think about it.
But no, you're right, 12 because he has 5 with Kobe, 6 with Jordan, and 1 when he played with the Knicks.
And then and freaking, you look at it, and that's the thing with the NBA.
You know what blows my mind? Because I'm pretty sure the NBA coaches of 75th was ranked by order. I'm pretty sure Phil Jackson was not one.
It was Red Auerbach, I think, was one.
Yeah,
right?
it was.
I mean,
But look at it this way: you go from having a dominant team built off a triangle offense, get 6 rings off of that. You do the same thing again with Ron Artest, Kobe,
Yeah.
and Pau Gasol. 3 lesser players compared to Scottie Pippen, Jordan, and Dennis
I
Rodman.
mean, didn't he also have Shaq for like 3 of those rings?
Who?
Phil,
I believe so.
2 years,
I think it was 2.
2 rings with Phil.
Wait,
with
no.
Shaq?
Shaq. So wait, Shaq won a ring with this. No, he won one with.
He won one with D Wade in Miami. He won one. He won at least 2 with the Lakers.
Think he has. Then he has 2 with the. No, he has.
So he has 3. Shaq.
He has 4. But I have to figure out.
I really just I don't know. I just find it hard to believe. Hey, yeah, it's probably true. You're right. Like with that argument, like with that, like it's just straight up because all the rings are just with a few coaches. Like that's
Yeah.
crazy. It's just so annoying because I hate Doc
I mean,
Rivers.
think about, yeah, I know. I mean, think about it. Like Phil has like 11 or
Of
12,
those.
whatever it is. Spoelstra has what, 3?
Yes,
Two.
Yeah.
Kerr.
Spoelstra has 3. Kerr has like 4
Yes. Oh
or
no.
3. It's Kerr. Well, as a coach, he has 3.
Yeah.
As a coach, he has 3.
And then you have to think about
Popovich-
those.
No,
Popovich
as a
has
player, he has
5.
5. He has 5.
And then you have to also
Because
talk
Kerr
about
also
those
don't forget one
old-
with San Antonio.
He was on. Yeah. Oh, so he has like 4, doesn't he?
5. He has 3 with the Warriors, and he has 2 with the Bulls and the Spurs.
Was he not there for the full second three-peat with the Bulls?
Wait, he might have been.
My phone does not work down here, so
I'm not trying to figure out. Was he there?
But he also
I know
has a
was there
championship with the
last year.
Spurs.
Dude, he has 8 rings.
He has 8.
He has 3 as a coach, 5 as a player. He was there for. Yeah. He has 2 with the Spurs, 3 with the Bulls.
Yeah, so he was there for the full three-peat with the Bulls.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
For
Yeah, the
second-
Spurs, he was like their bench point
He
guard.
was their bench player.
Yeah.
He was that for the Bulls too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
No, he started.
I think he
some
started
games.
with
I
a
thought
few.
Harper was the.
Oh,
so-
maybe.
He did, but it used to fluctuate. Some games Ron Harper would start when they need they know there were games where he had to shoot and
When
stuff.
they needed offense, they put
They need-
Steve.
yeah.
I didn't watch
Kerr
The Last Dance. So
I love the Last Dance.
I heard it was really good.
Did they put D'Antoni on the top
They had.
coaches?
They did not.
They did not.
They did not really.
I thought you meant to say
I
Popovich.
would almost put D'Antoni over Doc.
Oh, hands
I
down.
loved Mike.
Just the
D'Antoni.
thing with D'Antoni is just like his winning percentage was so many different teams and so many different players. The way he elevated different rosters.
Yes, he was a very good coach.
And his system is just so revolutionary to the modern game. Because think everybody does small ball now. Everybody tries to score in 7 seconds or less type thing.
Yeah. Real quick though, I know you guys last time talked about the predictions for the playoffs. What were your predictions?
I
for
had Bucks
Warriors?
Warriors, so my prediction is
Stands.
still alive. I am a little worried now that Chris Middleton is hobbled.
But no, Chris Middleton's only out for 3 weeks.
Is it only 3 weeks? Okay.
So he's only out for the rest of the series.
So I think the
But
Bucks
you guys
beat
have it in the
them.
bag. You're a little bit worried. Did you hear about this morning? No Zach LaVine, no Alex Caruso today.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Bulls I'm not worried about. I'm worried about going into it's the Heat next, I think, right?
Nope.
Celtics.
Oh, Celtics.
I-
I'm worried about going into the Celtics without Chris Middleton.
I think without Chris Middleton, the Bucks win 7 with 6. I don't think the Celtics win the series. I'm not just biased for that. I just think that the new face of the NBA is Giannis. Like he's been there for a while, but like, dude, it's like he's
It's
unstoppable.
his
I've
game.
been
It's his
saying,
game.
yeah,
Can't
I've been
stop
saying
him.
Giannis is the best player in the NBA since he got his second MVP.
It's just insane.
When he got his
because
second MVP, he's the best player in the league.
Not only is he just insane, it's he makes the team better. The other guys on the team, like you obviously have your Drew Holiday with him, and he's gonna have Chris Middleton back. But just the fact that like
he did it the hard way.
he did it the hard way.
He did it the hard.
He did it the old-fashioned
He
way.
did it
bro.
with what so many guys have not been able to do for the game of basketball. How important Giannis
It's
is.
huge.
Yes.
It's huge.
And you know, some
Huge.
people may hate it because they think the league would be better off if he went to a big glamorous market.
No.
And maybe in the short term it would be. But in the long term,
Yeah.
getting stars to stay in their cities, elevating those organizations in those cities, creating more parity and creating more fans in those regions
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
better for the league long term.
And just like the guys that he elevates, like, dude, the Bucks are so annoying because Bobby Portis could drop 30 on your team.
No, let's talk about Grayson Allen.
And Grayson Allen, like that's so annoying. I love Grayson
Bro.
Allen. I love Grayson Allen.
I love him.
I
I love
love
a guy
Grayson.
who plays the villain.
Yeah. Oh, I love the villains. Yeah.
I love a guy
I
who
love
plays the
Grayson
villain.
Allen. He's dropping 27, and I'm sick to my stomach, dude. But that's just the Bucks, bro.
I can't believe
That's
the
just
Bulls are
the
letting him get
Bucks.
away with this though after what he did to Caruso like earlier in the year.
Yeah, bro. It's Grayson. Grayson Allen's a dog, bro. He's a dog.
Bro, that
He's
whole
such a
Giannis,
man.
like when you watch Giannis too, it's like you'll see 2 people
You
in
can't stop
paint.
him, bro.
You see 2 people in paint. You see him with the ball, like he's dunking that. And as soon as it
I'm
happens,
just,
dunks
waiting,
it.
I'm just waiting for like a year or two when Giannis develops like a consistent 3-ball or something.
It's scary because,
and the league
His
will be like,
mini is
over.
filthy.
dude, he has a
His
good jumper
mini
already.
is
That's why
filthy.
it's so because
And
that
thing is,
was
If he starts hitting threes, it's
And
over.
you remember what I told you
It's over.
in the beginning of the year before we started our podcast? I'm like, Giannis has no bag, bro. He has no handles,
Yeah.
no nothing. And then all of a sudden, all-star push happens. I'm like, what is going on? This man's doing through the legs, sweet team crosses, splash.
See,
I'm like,
Giannis ruined Ben Simmons' career.
oh, hands
oh,
down,
hands
hands down.
down.
Because the fact that Giannis was able to
Build the
in
jump
that
shot.
finals with his free throws and improve his free throws and improve his shot, dude, it doesn't matter how long it took. It took a really long.
No,
his
I
free
think
throw routine was long.
honestly, like Giannis had the greatest championship performance I've ever seen. A 50
Oh my
ball
God,
triple
that's
double
amazing.
is crazy.
Yeah, it's
A
insane.
50 ball
It's
triple-double.
insane. And the thing is that like you saw, it's like wow, he could improve. Why can't Ben Simmons? So Giannis effectively ruined Ben Simmons' career.
yeah.
But
because
honestly,
that
like,
was
I'm not
crazy.
gonna lie, I'm not trying to sound messed up. Like Giannis had more, like he had more pain, and that pain turned into hunger. Because you think about it, he's been through a lot.
Just think about Giannis, man. He came into the league. Think about this with the Bucks. The Bucks before he got there, they blew up their championship contender of Ray Allen and those guys.
Yeah,
Michael
They
Ryan.
had freaking what's his name? George Karl was their coach,
Oh yeah, wow.
and he
Wow.
wanted that team blown up, and then he dipped. And the
Yeah.
Bucks ownership refused to tank for top picks, so they were stuck in mediocrity for so long. And then with like the 15th or 16th pick, whatever Giannis was, they drafted Giannis and they got Middleton in a trade with the Pistons.
Yeah.
And Chris
For Brandon Jennings.
hated each other
because they were both small forwards when they came to the league. And then Giannis got bigger, so they put him at the 4. And just slowly over time, you begun to see this foreign guy who no one really thought of.
Other than used to run to the Milwaukee Stadium. Let's get it was bad, bro.
This foreign guy whose journey to the NBA, he was a great story, but would he actually be anything?
Yeah.
Now he's the face of the league.
He's amazing. You can't hate Giannis.
It's like a Cinderella story. It
really is.
Yeah.
Like they'll make a movie about him.
Oh, hands down. They're gonna make a movie
down. There will be a great movie or TV or Netflix special or whatever about him.
Yeah. No, Giannis is great. I think that it's hard to deny the Bucks this year. I really do. I really think it's so hard to deny that Bucks team.
The only threat I see in the East right now is honestly Boston. Outside of that,
I think it's Boston just because of their defense. Their defense matches up so well. Like,
and it's crazy how Derek White gets there and they got so much better defense.
Well, because Sixers are frauds.
Sixers are frauds.
I don't see the Raptors making it past the second round if they make
it. I feel so bad for the Raptors. They just need one more. They need one piece.
I agree.
One piece.
I didn't think Scottie Barnes was going to be the factor, but I was surprised.
If Kawhi was still with the Raptors, they probably would have won.
You know how good Scottie Barnes would be if let's say they tank one year when Kawhi gets injured, like how he got injured this year. They picked up Scottie Barnes last year. You know how nasty Scottie Barnes would have been if he had Kawhi's IQ and help. Oh my god.
See, the only thing I didn't like that the Bucks did, which really annoyed me. I think it would help this team more. I wish they didn't trade Dante DiVincenzo for Serge Ibaka. I didn't get that trade at all. I didn't like it.
I didn't get the trade either.
I didn't like it. I
know why they did it.
Because Brook was hurt.
Because Brook was hurt. They didn't know when he was coming back, and they needed front court depth. That was really it. And Grayson was having a solid season.
Yeah.
So they just kind of decided, you know what, we'll risk it. Dante was not really getting enough minutes on the team anyway.
I love Dante. He was also coming back from injury. They tried to ease him in when he came. He wasn't doing that great, but he was coming back from injury. I like Dante a lot. And
the only other thing was
solid game
with Sacramento.
The other problem was that Dante was really their only asset to move. They didn't really have any picks left because they sent most of that to New Orleans for Holiday. They didn't really have any moves left to make that they could really do without trading someone like Dante.
Well, I think that they didn't like. Why did they get rid of Boogie? I feel like Boogie was such a cheap, good depth player.
It's partially a culture thing. It's also partially his game is very ball dominant for a big.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work in with Milwaukee's offense.
He's like, whenever I see Boogie play, he kind of low-key balls out.
He does, but
he hasn't been bad this
where he's got minutes. The game has passed his play style by.
Yeah.
His play style doesn't work anymore when you're
2018 and 2017 was dominant.
The reason Boogie worked in Milwaukee was because Giannis was out at that point.
Yes.
When Giannis came back, because if you notice what they do, they go 4 out. They go Giannis. They do basically what the Magic used to do with Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
They go 4 out. They go everybody out because they could do that with Brook and Bobby because they could both shoot. Everybody out. Giannis gets the paint to himself. So either Giannis gets doubled and he kicks to an open shooter, or he gets a one-on-one versus somebody.
Even if he gets doubled, he's still dunking the ball.
Yeah, exactly.
He's still dunking the ball.
So I mean, it's just amazing. So we'll have to talk. We'll hopefully get to talk more or something. I don't know if this might be the last week of shows. I don't. Do you know?
I think this one. I think I don't know actually.
I don't know.
Probably the last week of classes. I assume next week.
Yeah, I think next week probably.
I'm gonna let you guys shop about the draft. I'm just gonna say.
Yep. I think we're gonna. So that'll move us into our second topic. The NFL draft is T-minus 20 hours. I'm sorry, 19 hours and 30 minutes.
I'm excited.
Are you actually leaving?
No. Garbage.
Nah, I'm excited, man.
I'm so nervous.
All right.
Nervous?
I'm so nervous.
I would be too if I were you.
The betting.
Actually, you know what I'm saying? I think the Giants are gonna have a good draft.
The betting favorites right now for going number 1, 2, and 3.
I don't want to hear the first name you're gonna say.
Betting favorite is my least favorite player in this draft.
Yes.
It's Trayvon Walker.
Yes.
Is the betting favorite. Jacksonville, I swear, if this is the guy you take.
I feel bad for Jacksonville. I'll do it again.
It's not even Walker. It's the fact that you can't. The thing is, when you have the number 1 overall pick, I feel like you have a weird responsibility. You have to take the safest guy on the board.
That's the thing. And my thing with Jacksonville is after the year you just had, why would you want to risk a complete bust with that? Just just take the guy you know could be good.
Take Hutch, take Thib.
Like what are their comparisons? What is Aiden Hutchinson like? Oh, like a perennial Pro Bowler, right?
Yeah.
Trayvon Walker, his his reward would be the same as Hutchinson's, just with a way higher risk. Because I don't really think that he's like, I don't get it.
He doesn't have the tape.
He doesn't have the tape. He was used weirdly. I know sometimes they use him as an interior D lineman. I don't know why.
That's kind of how Georgia's system works. They like to.
They love the interior.
They sometimes like to go speed on the interior to give people different looks.
Yeah, it just did not work for him. So he would be used differently in the NFL. So that could, I think that's what they're banking on.
I mean,
when it comes to tape,
in the NFL, he'd be a 3-4 outside linebacker.
Yeah,
that's what he'd be.
My thing is what the comparisons, what they're saying with him are literally just if me and you, we went to Iona's gym and there was like this really, really like athletic dude. Like he's so solid. Like he's ripped.
Yeah.
He's doing these box jumps. Like we're watching him in the gym. He's going crazy. He's having a great gym workout. Let's throw him on the football field. Because that's what everyone's saying with Trayvon Walker is that he's just really athletic, but they're not saying anything about his football skills. He's fast.
It's crazy. His entire stock is based on the combine.
Entirety of it. Entirety
of his draft stock is based on the combine. He was a late first, early second.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't even remember him being a first. It's really like it should not be the case. And honestly, I think Hutchinson is the safest bet, but Thibodeau I think could be the best like lineman in this class. It boggles me.
I don't understand why Thibodeau fell so far. I really don't get it.
I don't either.
If it's the motor thing,
it is the motor thing.
I think that's crock.
But I just don't know why. I don't know where that came from.
It's so weird. It was like from an interview.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it's so weird. But then again, they said the same thing about Andrew Luck.
Yeah,
they said the same thing about Justin Herbert.
Yes, they did.
They said Herbert didn't have passion for football because he stayed his 4th year in Oregon to get his degree.
That's so dumb.
NFL scouts are so weird. What they look at for stuff is so weird. There's a test they give quarterbacks. It's an IQ test. It's actually bad if you get a 90 or a 100%.
Why?
Because then they consider you uncoachable. You'll think you know better than everybody else, and you'll be uncoachable.
That's so dumb, dude. It's so annoying.
Scouts are so
annoying.
Weird. Have you ever seen the movie Moneyball?
Yes.
In the movie, there's this great scene where they're trying to replace Jason Giambi. So they're talking about all these like prospects and these guys in free agency. And there's this one guy, I completely forget who it is. I think it's Perez or something. I don't know who the real guy is. They bring him up, and the one guy goes, well, he might be good, but he's got an ugly girlfriend.
Yes. Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Ugly girlfriend means no confidence, apparently. It's like, what are you basing that off of? Scouting is so weird.
It's just like, why is it wrong to just look at the stats and the tape? Like, why is that so? Like, I don't understand why that's not the first thing that jumps out. I don't get it.
It's so weird. They're always looking for that other thing.
And they don't have to.
They somehow think that that's what will give them the edge, is finding that other thing that a player does. So moving on to the second pick, obviously the betting favorite there is if Walker's won, the betting favorite here, and this is my preference, is Hutchinson to Detroit.
I would love it because I would love Dan Campbell.
I would love Hutchinson to Detroit.
But my thing is that
he becomes the face of that franchise.
Absolutely. That's not a question.
They have no face.
Yeah,
exactly. So the thing is but say Hutchinson gets picked first, who do they take? They're not going to take Trayvon Walker. I don't think they will.
No, I think they take Thibodeau, or they could take Malik.
I hope not. I like Jared Goff for a bridge quarterback.
And he will still be the bridge quarterback because Willis is going to need at least a year. Least a year. So what they could do is they have other picks. They could just use that to build up the rest of the roster. But personally, my preference for Detroit is take the best edge rusher available and then take the quarterback with your second first.
Yeah, 32.
Whoever's there at 32. If it's Ritter, if it's Corral, if it's Howell, whoever it is.
Because the Lions don't need receivers. I actually like their receiver. I think later on.
Their receivers are solid. They're relatively unknown.
St. Brown and Shark.
St. Brown, Shark.
And they have Josh Reynolds, who has good
Josh Reynolds, who's a solid guy. And then their best guy is their tight ends, TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah. So they don't have bad weapons.
First team anyway.
With DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams, that's not a problem. And they don't have a bad offensive line either. They're not that bad of a team.
Their trenches are actually really good.
One of the best in the league. Like top.
Their O-line last year and with Penei Sewell getting better,
Yeah,
their O-line's great.
it's a great. Oh, yeah,
They just need the punch,
yeah.
whether it's on defense or offense.
It would be a dream scenario for Aiden Hutchinson to fall to them. I think, regardless, though, I think Thibodeau would be a great pick for them. So
Let me ask you a serious question. If you're the Lions, would you trade 2 and 32 to move up with Jacksonville to 1 to get Hutch? Would you give up that 32nd pick to get Hutch?
it's so tough with the Lions because they are the weirdest second overall pick ever because they were not that bad.
They were actually the worst team.
In
They
like
were competitive in every
every
game.
single
were.
game. It's so weird with them. It's like I get it. Like they
The
obviously
thing
need
of it, though,
pieces.
if they had just lost to the Steelers, they'd have the first overall pick.
Hands
Yeah.
down.
Instead of that tie with the Steelers. If the Steelers had just beat them in overtime, they would have. But what matters for Detroit is that they have established a culture.
Yeah.
Dan Campbell, I thought for sure he was going to be a meme. When I saw that
He's
they
great,
hired
though.
him, because I
But
remember
by the
him
kneecaps.
as a Falcon fan, I remember him from when he was with New Orleans.
Yes.
I'm like, this dude is either going to be great or he's going to be a meme and he's going to be fired by halfway through the season.
Absolutely. So here's the thing, though. I think that if you're Jacksonville, you accept the trade, obviously, because you know they're not picking Walker, and you want Walker, you're going to get Walker with that second overall pick. I also don't think they get an offensive lineman. They just signed Cam Robinson to a 3-year
They
deal.
just re-signed
Yeah.
Cam Robinson, so the Evan Neal and Icom thing for Jacksonville's
done.
probably gone.
Yeah. So my thing is, the only reason why I could see that happen is if they really hate Thibodeau in the sense that I think of Dan Campbell, I'm thinking guy who loves motor, and if people are actually concerned about Thibodeau's motor, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it depends on how much he's reading into that because I think it's BS. I don't think it's
I think it's BS too, but my whole thing is it's just if the price is just my pick and then the 32nd pick, you have early second rounders, just do it.
Yeah.
Hutch comes in, he's a Michigan guy. Face of your franchise. The money you'd print on jersey sales alone.
Yeah,
for
that is
bringing
true.
in Hutch
That is true.
would be worth trading that pick.
I really think that you're banking on the Jaguars messing up the pick and getting Trayvon.
You really are. And you know what? Honestly, it's Jacksonville.
It's Jacksonville.
You know what the thing is with Jacksonville? They could come completely out of left field and take like Sauce Gardner with the first pick. I really would not be shocked.
I'm seeing
They could go
the
completely
Texans maybe
nuts
do
and
that.
take Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, you never know.
They're the team that would do that.
Jacksonville is not the smartest at all.
No, they're
Absolutely
not. And as long as Trent Pilecki is still the GM there, which, God, that man should have been fired like 4 years ago.
I just don't get because he likes Trayvon Walker. Doug Peterson wants an offensive lineman, and the owner Khan wants. Well, I love the Khans. The Khans are great. I love. They don't know what they're doing, but I love them.
I did a project on Khan in high school
Yeah.
as an immigrant to you had to find someone who was like a grassroots person who like built their way up. Dude was like the epitome of the American dream.
He's lit.
Immigrant, came here with nothing, built himself up the fortune, and now owns a
And now it also has the wrestling show.
yeah, exactly. With
AEW.
AEW.
He owns it?
He owns AEW.
Yeah, Shad Khan owns AEW because Tony Khan is his son who runs it.
Yeah. We'll compete with WWE. The Khans,
So
the Khans are
Khans
crazy. The Khans are crazy.
The problem with Shahid Khan is just that he doesn't really care.
He doesn't care. No, he doesn't care. He
as
doesn't
long
care.
as the team runs and makes money, fine. He doesn't.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't step in unless he has to.
He also owns a soccer team too. He owns a bunch of things.
He owns a ton of.
What
He's one
soccer
of those
team does he
owners
own?
who's just he's
I-
got his
I'll look it up.
portfolio in so many things.
Is it a Barclays Premier team or is it an MLS team?
I think it's a premier team.
Yeah, I think it might be a lower level premier.
But the thing with it's just the thing
Fulham.
with Khan is it's just
In Fulham.
he's got
FC.
his hand in so many different things. I don't entirely.
I forgot what other owner owns Arsenal that's in the NFL. He put up the team for auction. I'm pretty sure he owns Arsenal. I'm pretty sure it's.
I know who you're talking about too. I just can't think of it.
I don't think it's a. Is it their
Stan Kroenke.
Oh, Kroenke. It's Kroenke. Yeah.
Kroenke owns what NFL team?
The Rams.
Yeah. So yep. He don't
Stan
care.
Kroenke.
He
And the
doesn't care.
Nuggets.
Yeah, he owns the Nuggets too. He actually owned the Nuggets, I think.
Longer.
No, he got the Rams back in like.
And the Avalanche. What?
Yeah, he owned, which is
He owns
kind of
everything,
funny
bro.
because like that's originally why they moved to St. Louis because he had those Midwest. It was kind of funny. I'm really surprised. Like, honestly, the reason he owns the Rams is because he couldn't own the Broncos.
No.
The Broncos were just a family-owned team, so they were never going to get it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he owns the rest of Denver sports.
That's insane.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, I wouldn't be amazed if he buys the Rockies at some point.
Yeah, he has
I could
like
totally
every
see it.
Colorado. He has a national lacrosse team already there.
Yeah, he's a Denver guy.
So okay, third pick then, Houston.
The betting favorite as of right now is actually Derek Stingley.
I did see them looking at a corner.
I'm now thinking about it. Houston could upgrade their secondary.
They can upgrade a lot of things.
That could be the move. I don't get the people that have them taking a tackle. They already have Tunsil. I don't see them spending a top 4 pick on a right tackle.
Yeah, especially not this draft. Like, if you think about it, because how I was thinking about it yesterday is if I were to take the tackles from this year's draft and last year's draft, Sewell and Slater, I think, are better prospects.
Oh, absolutely.
I just
That's
think
not even a knock on Icom and Neal. That's just those two were such an amazing prospect.
Yeah, I think that these guys are good tackles. I just think that you really have to look. I think that who was
the problem with Neal is I see Neal as a low ceiling, high floor guy.
Oh, so like a Mekhi Becton.
I don't see Neal as like he's a solid guy. He could be a guy who'd be on your line for years.
Yeah,
but he's never going to anchor your offensive line. I don't think.
Yeah,
Icom has that upside.
He does.
Icom could be your franchise tackle.
So does Charlie Cross.
I like Charlie Cross, but I like Icom better.
So do I. So the thing that I'm actually really scared about now, because third pick could really go anywhere. I think it's going to go cornerback or Thibodeau maybe. Depends. I don't really know.
I don't think they go. I don't. Yeah, they could be corner or Thibs. I think would be the picks.
I think for the Jets, I think now it's more interesting now that Mekhi Becton might be out.
Yeah,
I don't know how true that is. I would be upset if it's true. I don't think it's really something that the Jets or him want. I don't think he's like a Zion for football. He's just too big.
I feel like what they would do is that if it's really a thing, they would address it at 10. I think they'd wait and see if either Cross falls or they'd take Trevor Penning at 10. I don't think.
I hate Penning so much.
Not a Penning fan?
I hate Penning so much.
I know.
He has bad tape.
His tape is not that great.
His tape is not that great.
In fairness, he didn't play for the best team.
Yeah, he didn't. But did
He
you see him?
Like UNLV? Or
yeah, and then like the Senior Bowl. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I don't like Penning.
I know people like him, but
because then I see fans wanting Daniel Falele, whatever his name is, the huge guy from Minnesota. Do you know?
Oh God, no.
He's ginormous. You know, like he's like 6'9", I think.
Yeah. No.
No, it's like Mekhi Becton all over him. Like it's tough. I really hope it's not true. I like Becton. I obviously know the problems with Becton, but I think it just hurts. You can't possibly get rid of him this year, only because you're gonna have to live with not knowing exactly what he is, and you picked him over Tristan Wirfs.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of people picked over. Tristan Wirfs was the last of the elite talent.
I don't know why. Mekhi Becton. I was not that huge on.
Something with his pro day or his combine or something. People didn't.
I wanted Wills. I love Jedrick.
Becton was a combine guy who shot up.
Yes,
he was the 4th combine guy.
That's why I don't like it.
That's why I don't like it. Guy.
I hate combine guys.
Andrew Thomas was the first?
Yes. Yeah, I think that was
the guy who had great tape.
He did have really good tape.
He played for the best team.
I like Jedrick.
Willis. The only knock on Jedrick was the fact that he actually played right tackle at Bama. But technically, he was a blindside guy because Tua was his quarterback. So it was like...
Will's my favorite. I love Jedrick. Yeah, it's tough with the Jets. I think you might be right at 10.
I still think you lock
Sauce
Gardner
if he's available
in at 4. I think you still lock Sauce in at 4.
Okay, so that leaves 5.
So that's the Giants, right? At 5.
At 5, I think they also go. I think they go.
I feel Sauce Gardner. You said?
No, for the Jets.
I think the Giants actually go Evan Neal over Icom. I think they're getting one of those two guys.
I think it's Icom. I think they went with the safe pick last time in Andrew Thomas. I think they take the riskier pick this time with Icom. But I could see Neal. Basically, they're going to take one of the offensive tackles. And the reason they're going to take the offensive tackle first, not the edge rusher, because you'd think, like, why would you not take Thibs here because he's the better rated prospect? It's because there's still a chance that Carolina won't go quarterback.
And they go offensive
tackle. So you get the offensive tackle you want at 5. Let Carolina pick whoever because they're not going edge.
They're not going
and edge. Then get Thibodeau at 7. This is the dream scenario for the Giants. Like, Giant fans will be celebrating in the streets if they land one of the top O tackle prospects and Thibodeau.
Absolutely.
And they have a right to, because that should be an amazing draft.
So after that, it's 8 Atlanta.
Yeah.
They're gonna go wide receiver. And
I will seriously lose my
I know,
mind if
I
they go
know.
wide receiver.
I'm fairly
Trade down.
I'm fair. Oh,
If you're gonna go
With-
wide out, trade down.
with the thought that they don't trade down, if they stay at 8,
Jermaine Johnson, please take Jermaine Johnson.
I have a hard time believing Atlanta's not.
Take Johnson, take Kyle Hamilton, take Stingley, take anybody. Please, no, just don't. I like Garrett Wilson. I like him. Do not take him at 8.
Do you think he's wide receiver 1?
I probably would have him as the 1.
It's him and Drake
I'm-
London
I'm
or Jameson
very-
Williams.
I'm very underwhelmed by this wide receiver class.
So am I.
This class, nobody in this class screams box office wide out to me.
Yeah, I
No
agree.
one in this class,
I agree.
in this wide receiver class, screams to me top 10 pick.
I'm the only close one is Jameson Williams, personally.
Personally, I think the only one was George Pickens, and the reason he's not this high
Yeah,
is because of his ankle
injury,
or
yeah.
his injury. Yeah.
I
By the way, random fact: Jermaine Johnson started his collegiate career at Last Chance U.
oh really? That's sick.
He was at Last Chance U.
That's sick.
He was not. If you blink when you watch that show, you'll miss him because he was not one of the more interesting or controversial guys on the show, but he was the best player on the team
That's
by
sick.
far. And he was a wrecker. He then goes to Georgia for 2 years, is really solid there, but a rotational edge rusher, kind of like what they do at Georgia. He goes to Florida State and is the guy.
Yeah, I'm a big Jermaine
So-
Johnson guy.
So there, I'm sure that will come up in the draft coverage because there's always the weird draft coverage.
Yeah,
Yeah. Are we
Yeah.
going to get another draft coverage, by the way, like in 2020, where we find out every athlete's like family is dead?
Dude, that was crazy.
Do you
was
remember that in
insane.
2020?
They give the
In the 2020
whole
Every single prospect. He lost his mom at 14.
like right
He
when he's
lost
getting
his
drafted,
role
celebrating
model
with his,
cousin.
it was
The
insane.
I'm like, is it every guy?
Every
My
single-
God.
This is at least, if they had one death in the family within the last 10 years, they
They
mentioned.
brought it up.
Yeah.
Holy
Gotcha.
Lord. It was like, I don't want to say it was funny because that's
Oh, it got
so
no,
terrible,
it got
but
laughable.
it got comedic
Yeah.
at the point where it's like, you can't keep saying this.
It's not vital.
I know it's back to basketball, but nothing was worse with that announcer about Kevin Porter Jr.'s father, bro.
Oh
What did
my
they say about him?
He's like, oh, he's a shooter, just like his father.
Oh,
I was like, oh my
yeah,
God,
yeah,
you did
yeah,
not
yeah,
say
yeah,
no,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But so back to Atlanta. I have told people that I'm watching the draft with. If Atlanta picks a wide receiver at 8, you're going to need to tackle me because something bad will happen.
You went home to watch the draft?
Probably.
That's funny.
I need a safe space to watch the
That's
draft.
so funny.
I will, like I always do, though. If you guys want to stop by, I always go live on Insta during the draft.
Yeah, word.
So if you want to stop by, please be my guest. I always go live every year during the draft. I've had some great reactions over the years. I think the best one was John Ross being picked by the Bengals at 8. I did
my
not stop
God.
laughing until like the 13th pick. That was so funny to me. And actually,
Just
the
on
next one was
speed.
the Giants taking Evan Ingram. I could not.
They
stop
took him
laughing.
9th.
No, they took him 21st.
You said the next pick that you.
The next pick I wouldn't stop laughing at
Okay.
was
yeah.
that one.
That is
You
sick.
know, when I
Um,
cried is when I found out Saquon Barkley was going to be a Giant. I cried. I was so happy.
Yeah, dude, I love Saquon. Saquon's my guy.
You know what's
He's a
actually
Jets
really
fan.
funny? I was watching this
Oh,
with a
Saquon.
friend of one of my best friends who's a Packer fan, and we were praying that the Giants didn't take Saquon because we thought it was going to be a good pick, and we knew Giants fans were not going to shut up.
Yeah.
about it. So
So
when they picked Saquon, we just walked into the other room and like hugged each other, like, "No, the Giants fans,
you're gonna be
they're
outnumbered.
going to
Yeah.
be nuts."
So speaking of the Packers, though,
Oh,
what do they
God.
do? What do they do in the draft? They must go receiver. Then what do they do with the other pick? Some people
I've
they go
heard
receiver twice.
tackle. I've heard
That too.
O-line.
I've heard that too.
I've also heard them trading up.
Oh, I just don't think it's worth it.
You know, is that the trade Atlanta does?
Maybe.
Do you trade down from? Is that worth it though? Trade down for 8 for 2 picks in the early 20s. Normally, I would say no, but in this
The Packers
draft
suck.
class,
In terms of front office, they don't have a great front office.
no. So I'm wondering, like, is that the move? Like,
Remember when they were for one day supposed to
trade
get Darren
two for-
Waller?
and
Remember that?
oh my god. So basically, that whole thing is like they wanted him in the deal originally, and then the Raiders said no, and now they want to try to go backsies with it and like, hey, we'll give you one of your first back if you give us Waller. No.
I actually don't hate that for the Raiders. If the Raiders say the Raiders got 2 first-round picks for Darren Waller, I don't know, probably not. It would not take that.
That would be absolutely hilarious. You trade 2 first-round picks for Devontae Adams, and then you get those 2 first-round picks.
Because I don't know what the Packers do
for Darren Waller.
But like the Raiders, I think could use more help on defense, and they also have Foster Moreau, who I like a lot. And Darren Waller's also aging, and he's getting hurt.
It's just, I mean, I think the potential of having that trio on offense.
Oh, it's killer. It's killer.
Renfro, Waller, Adams, and then Jacobs in the backfield with Derek Carr.
No, it's killer. It's killer.
It's too tempting to not do.
Yeah.
And given how much firepower is in your division,
that is a good point.
I think
that is a good point. I forgot how that.
You have to keep that group.
Yeah, I agree.
So
wait, who's after 8? 9 Seattle.
9 is Seattle.
Didn't they go quarterback?
I have Charlie Cross penciled in here.
I think it's a tackle. I also think it's a tackle.
I think Cross goes 9. I think Seattle either goes quarterback with their second pick or they trade for Baker after.
I think they get Baker.
I think they trade for Baker after the draft.
And then Jets at 10. You think they go?
I think they go with whatever they didn't go at 4. If they go edge at 4, they go corner at 10. If they go corner at 4, they go edge at 10.
So okay, edge at 10. So you're saying hopefully Jermaine Johnson, Thibodeau's off the board as well.
That's the thing. If Jermaine Johnson, that's the thing. If Johnson goes, this is the other thing. If Johnson goes 8 to Atlanta, let's just throw that in as the thing. And Cross goes 9 to Seattle. I either have the Jets trading down.
Trading down for sure.
I would hope they would trade down. The only other thing I would have is potentially Kyle Hamilton. I know Jets fans don't want another. They don't want another big name safety.
I do. If he's there at 10.
But if Hamilton is there at 10 and you have a chance to have Hamilton and Gardner in your secondary,
yeah,
go for it.
You have to
go for it.
I completely forgot that Hamilton was not okay. Yeah, okay. So Kyle Hamilton, because I like George Karlaftis, I just don't think he's top 10.
I think his stock kind of fell off near the end of the year.
It did. I also like the linebackers, just not this early.
Yeah,
Devin Lloyd.
You could go Devin Lloyd. You could go Nakobe Dean.
It's not this early for me. I'm sorry, not top 10.
I would say trade down if you're going to do that.
And trade down also if you want Linderbaum.
Yeah, or if you want to go wide out.
I agree. So I would love
ideally trade down. Ideally trade down in that spot. If you have to pick Hamilton.
Well, because for sure though, I think one thing that has to be certain, and I'm confident about this. I know a lot of Jets fans are saying this. I know a lot of people. There's a lot of rumors. The Jets will not trade that 10th pick for Debo. It's not going to happen. After everything that's happened with the Tyreek Hill trade, it would just make too little sense. There's 2 things about it. One, Tyreek Hill, I think, is special because he has game-changing speed. I love Debo. I don't think Debo's better than Tyreek Hill. I'm sorry.
No. I don't think he's not. And if you're not going to be able to use him in that gadget role because that's not what he wants to do, then his value plummets.
That's what I'm saying. And also, it's annoying because like you have guys that can fill that. I like Braxton Berry. I know you talked about this. And also
I don't think the Jets need any more weapons.
I think they're fine too. If they were to get a weapon, I would much rather draft a dude in the second round or get Kadarius Toney, who's apparently available.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I am praying.
I don't know why.
I want Kadarius Toney in Atlanta
because Kadarius Toney has anger issues. That's what it is.
We have no wideouts.
He said, "Does Kadarius Toney?"
Does he actually
anger issues? Oh yeah.
Wait, what are his off-field problems?
Not off-field. He'll punch somebody in the face. He's punched some people in the face.
Oh, really?
He's an angry little guy.
He is a emotional mess.
Oh, really?
This was why he fell so far from his original projections to late in the first.
And he's done this in the NFL too.
Huh?
Yep.
He's done this in the NFL.
He's had issues with Daniel Jones. He threatened to punch Daniel Jones.
No, he has.
Did he punch Daniel Jones? I know he threatened to do it a few times. I don't know if he actually did.
He has anger issues. If
he
you don't find him,
that makes sense.
He did not show up to minicamp. He has not even met Brian Dable, nor has he collected the new playbook.
Oh, that changes everything. That changes everything.
He has just said, "I do not want to be here."
That's so weird. It's the New York market,
He's
man.
an angry little guy.
That's so weird. Well, I guess I don't know.
You know, it's so weird.
AVC, I'm gonna tune into your live draft.
I appreciate that, bro.
I'm mad at you though. I'm so mad you're not here for it. I'm so mad you're not here for it.
I think
we are out of here.
We're gonna have to wrap. Thank you all very much for tuning in, Jason. Pleasure to it. If you want, catch my live on draft. The Insta is in the WICR Insta.
Try to be here next week.
So we'll hope we might be here next week. We might not. If not, it's been a pleasure. Thank you guys. See you next time.
Peace out. Will you have office hours, Jason?